ever wondered what made Beethoven's music so timeless and influential? It's a combination of his artistic brilliance and his remarkable life story. Ludwig van Beethoven, a composer who sits at the very heart of Western classical music, bridged the gap between two significant periods, the classical and the Romantic era. He was a groundbreaking artist who pushed the boundaries of what was musically possible. Born in the mid-18th century in the city of Bonn, Germany, Beethoven's journey wasn't easy. He faced numerous challenges throughout his life, the most notable of which was his struggle with hearing loss. Yes, one of the world's greatest composers began to lose his hearing in his late 20s, and by his mid-40s, he was almost completely deaf. Yet he continued to compose, creating some of his most profound works during this period of his life. Now, let's dive into the musical journey of Beethoven, exploring his works in chronological order. Beethoven's early period, from 1792 to 1802, was a time of exploration and development. This era, often referred to as Beethoven's formative years, was marked by a flurry of compositions, with the young artist honing his skills and finding his voice. During this period, Beethoven composed his first two symphonies. Symphony No. 1, premiered in 1800, was a tribute to his predecessors. With its classical structure and clear echoes of Mozart and Haydn, it was a nod to the traditions that Beethoven had inherited. Yet Beethoven's unique voice was beginning to emerge. The unexpected dissonances and dramatic shifts in the symphony hinted at the bold, innovative composer he would become. Symphony No. 2, composed just 2 years later, was another step forward. While it still bore the influence of Mozart and Haydn, it was larger in scale and more adventurous in its use of harmony and rhythm. Beethoven was pushing the boundaries of the symphonic form, experimenting with new ideas and techniques. Parallel to his work on symphonies, Beethoven was also composing piano sonatas. His early sonatas, particularly those of Opus 2, are remarkable for their virtuosic demands and their emotional depth. Here too we can see Beethoven's style evolving. The sonatas are richly expressive and full of inventive musical ideas, showing a growing confidence and maturity in Beethoven's writing. But perhaps the most significant aspect of Beethoven's early works is how they foreshadow his future compositions. In these pieces, we can see the seeds of Beethoven's unique approach to melody, structure, and orchestration. His willingness to break with tradition, to push the boundaries of what music could be, is already evident. Throughout this period, Beethoven was not just imitating his predecessors, he was absorbing their ideas, experimenting with them, and transforming them into something new. His early works are not just remarkable in their own right, but also for what they tell us about Beethoven's artistic journey. These early works laid the foundation for the innovative compositions that were to come. The middle period, often called the heroic period, was when Beethoven truly found his voice. This period, extending roughly from 1802 to 1812, is a testament to Beethoven's creative prowess. And it's here that we see him boldly pushing the boundaries of classical music. The hallmark of this period is Beethoven's 3rd through 8th symphonies, with the 5th and 6th symphonies standing as towering achievements in the world of music. These symphonies are not just compositions, they are powerful narratives expressed through sound. Take the 5th symphony, for instance. It's a piece that begins with a motif so iconic that even those unfamiliar with classical music may recognize it. 4 notes, simple yet potent, form the foundation of an entire symphony. It's a testament to Beethoven's genius that he could weave such a complex and emotional narrative from such a simple motif. Meanwhile, the 6th symphony, also known as the Pastoral Symphony, is a love letter to nature. It's a symphony that eschews the traditional structure, instead opting to tell a story in 5 movements. Each movement paints a vivid picture, from the cheerful gathering of country folk to the violent thunderstorm, culminating in a thankful hymn after the storm. In these symphonies, and indeed in all the works from the heroic period, we see Beethoven's innovative use of motifs and his increased emotional intensity. He was no longer content to follow the established rules of composition. Instead, he sought to express his innermost feelings and thoughts through his music, and in doing so, he forever changed the course of music history. It's no wonder then that Beethoven's works from this period are some of the most admired and studied compositions in classical music. They are a testament to his creativity, his boldness, and his deep understanding of the power of music to stir the soul. Beethoven's heroic period works are some of the most famous pieces of music ever written. In Beethoven's late period, he pushed musical boundaries like never before. This was a time in his life marked by personal struggle, and yet it was also a time of unparalleled creativity. His hearing was almost completely lost, but his resolve to express his deepest feelings through music remained unshaken. The pieces from this period are often seen as a departure from the norms of classical music. They are complex, introspective, and at times intensely emotional. Among these, his Ninth Symphony and the late string quartets stand out for their unique qualities. The Ninth Symphony, or the choral, as it's often referred to, is a masterpiece that broke new ground. It was the first time a major composer used voices in a symphony, effectively marrying the worlds of symphonic and choral music. The final movement, with its joyful ode to joy, is a testament to Beethoven's belief in the universal brotherhood of mankind, a theme that resonates deeply even today. Then there are his late string quartets, opus 127 to 135, which are some of the most challenging and rewarding pieces for any string ensemble. They are a reflection of Beethoven's innermost thoughts, and they pushed the boundaries of what was considered possible in terms of form, harmony, rhythm, and tonality. For instance, the Quartet No. 14 in C-sharp minor, Op. 131, consists of 7 interconnected movements played without a break, a structure that was revolutionary for its time. These pieces are not just music, they are philosophical statements. They challenge us to think, to feel, and to question. They are a testament to Beethoven's refusal to be bound by conventions, his relentless pursuit of innovation, and his deep, abiding faith in the power of music to transcend human suffering and express the deepest truths of the human condition. These late works mark the peak of Beethoven's creativity and are considered some of the most profound works in the Western classical music tradition. Beethoven's impact on music is immeasurable. It's not just a statement, but a truth that echoes through the corridors of time. As we delve into Beethoven's legacy, we encounter a profound influence that extends beyond the realm of classical music, shaping the very core of how we perceive and create music today. Beethoven's works became a blueprint for subsequent generations of composers. His daring innovations and unyielding devotion to his art inspired musicians to break free from the constraints of their time. He redefined the symphony, transforming it from a mere entertainment piece into an evocative musical journey. He expanded the symphonic form, incorporating elements of drama and narrative that hadn't been previously explored. This paved the way for future composers like Brahms and Mahler, who further developed the symphony, carrying forward Beethoven's spirit of innovation. Likewise, Beethoven's contributions to the development of the string quartet were equally momentous. His late quartets, in particular, were a turning point, pushing the boundaries with their complexity and emotional depth. These works, full of innovation and introspection, have been a source of inspiration for countless composers who followed, from Schubert to Shostakovich. And then there's the piano sonata. Beethoven revolutionized this form, expanding its scope and depth. His sonatas are not just pieces of music, but profound expressions of human emotion. They've inspired generations of composers and pianists who continue to marvel at their brilliance and seek to capture their magic in their own works. But beyond his specific contributions to these forms, Beethoven's true legacy lies in his indomitable spirit. His music, born out of struggle and adversity, speaks to the human condition, resonating with us on a deep emotional level. It has the power to move us, to inspire us, and to remind us of our shared humanity. Beethoven's music, full of passion and innovation, continues to inspire and move audiences around the world. So as we continue to explore and cherish his works, we not only appreciate the music of a genius, but also honor a legacy that has shaped the course of music history. So we have journeyed through Beethoven's musical life, from his early to late works. We've explored his initial forays into composition, where he began to make his mark, and delved into his heroic period, where his innovative style truly began to shine. We've seen how he continued to push the boundaries of music in his late period, even as his personal struggles mounted. His music, ever evolving, served as a mirror to his life experiences, his triumphs and his tribulations. Each symphony, each sonata tells a tale of its own, a testament to Beethoven's genius and his profound impact on classical music. His works have shaped the course of music history, influencing countless composers that followed. And yet the true beauty of Beethoven's music lies in its ability to touch the hearts of listeners, generation after generation. Remember, the best way to appreciate Beethoven's music is to listen to it. So go ahead, explore his works and experience the genius of Beethoven for yourself.